A century ago, do you think that our ancestors, who were born like in the 1880s, 1890s, got real ruffled when we called it the late 1800s? Well, don't let our Marshall Zellinger hear you call the 1980s and 1990s the late 1900s, like students at his alma mater do. Smoky Hill High School has a history lab teaching students about the late 1900s. The class is looking for artifacts.
A Vietnam War uniform, a soldier's service record, even a VHS tape about Vietnam. All items you might associate with a history lab.
We collect artifacts and objects and items that we hope that the students can engage with and pick up and touch and feel.
The lab is also Brian Hendrick's social studies office at Smoky Hill High School. And the historical, dare I say, artifacts also spill over into a storage closet.
It's mostly audio-visual stuff. Old TVs, we have old record players, we have my dad's old reel-to-reel player.
Think of what's stored away in your parents' basement as the new version of a dinosaur bone.
We got to see how technology advanced over the years. That was a really cool unit to see how the phone went from an old-timey phone all the way up to what we have now, where it's just in our pocket every day.
More heartbreaking than learning technology from my age is considered an artifact is seeing my yearbook also used as history.
It's very cool to see what the people look like.
Well, in the late 1900s, we were still using overhead projectors, transitioning from cassettes to CDs and playing games on cartridges.
And you would put them into the console and you would play the games. It was really cool to see how it has changed over the years.
The hands-on learning this day was truly an historic event.
This is my dad, that is Nels Hendricks. He was drafted into the Vietnam War. His draft number was 125. I still remember that today.
This is our draft board.
To have the students feel history even more, social studies teacher Michael Corrado introduced a student draft.
You put the birthday number up there in the gray areas, all the way up to 195, and if your birthday fell in there, you're drafted and you have an assignment to do.
Get drafted, and your homework assignment meant talking to veterans and family members. Have a birth date that did not get drafted? You had an easier homework assignment.
But either way, all the students could feel, could experience, and could go through that moment in time where history truly felt real to them.
On that draft board, I was probably third to last to be drafted, so I can feel what that would have been like, especially with a harder homework assignment. The school and the teachers are looking for any memorabilia. What I'm about to show you is not something I'm ready to donate just yet, but if you have something similar and want to donate it to Smoky Hill, feel free. Like the Teddy Ruxpin, I'm not going to give up, and his friend Grubby. Those are the two animals there. The original Xbox, and I kept the dust for authenticity. The VCR, the VHS rewinder. Be kind, Kyle. Please rewind.
Okay, isn't it funny though how we always like draw lines between what was current for us and then right before us, and right before us is ancient, but current to us is fine. I looked at your table and I'm like, Xbox, that's not old. I had an Xbox. And I looked at the other stuff and I was like, no way, man, that other stuff is real old. That's real old. And there's probably what, like 7 years between them?
Oh, about, yeah, but the Xbox would have been the late 90s. I'll call it the late 90s because that's what it's called.
Yeah.
The Teddy Ruxpin was like the mid 80s.
Yeah, again, like I said, old. All right, Marshall Zellinger, thank you.